everybody, Ron here. It's Black Star, the role-playing game by Lakeside Games, designed by Leonard Pimentel, who I interviewed a couple of months ago on this channel. And if you haven't noticed, it brings a certain vibe from a galaxy far, far away. And that's because that is what the inspiration for this game was. And it's a nice little 50 or so page document, little like pocket-sized book, a book that's literally small enough to fit into your large back pocket, if you are so inclined to carry your books that way. But let's go through this right quick. I'm not going to go through every page, but I'm really fascinated with this game. Table contents, fiction here in the beginning to set the mood, and a little welcome thing. The heroes are made of 10 abilities and 10 archetypes, and the archetypes allow you to choose different talents. The archetypes here, you can read blasting, brawling, diplomacy, so on and so forth. Those are going to be rated from 1 to 3. To create a character, you're going to have 1s in all 10 of those, and then you'll have 10 points to spend to increase those abilities. And then your archetypes, you will pick 2 archetypes. From those 2 archetypes, you will have some talents. Now, each archetype is itself a talent, which I'll talk about when I get to it. But also you have a list of talents under each archetype. For example, if I were going to be let's say I was a pilot and a mystic. Pilot is an archetype, mystic is an archetype, and then I have a list of archetypes under pilot, which I would pick 1. Same thing with mystic, I'll pick 1. And then for my 5th one, I would pick any one that I would like. You have rules for gear here. It's more narrative and focus. Resolve, which is your game meta currency, your hit points to start with 7. Experience points in this game is called Destiny. You can increase your abilities. You can increase your resolve or buy a new talent or missing power and everything like that. And here's the list of talents. There's a long list. And for Mystic, you only have 3 talents and you have all these powers. So you could also pick a power as a talent and more, as you can see here. There's a whole bunch of talents. And then you have a bunch of gear talents. So we have innate talents here. If you want to make an alien species, you just pick the innate talent that makes sense. And the rest of it's narrative. Here's your list of gear. As you're going to see, it's not long. It's very condensed. Now the system. You roll 2 6-sided dice. You add your relevant ability. You're looking for a 9. If you roll an 8, you have 3 options. You just plain fail. You can spend a resolve to reroll and try again, or you can spend a resolve and have a success with a cost. You folks know how much I love a success with a cost. And what's helpful here, it gives a little list of what those costly success can be like. And by the way, if I ever mentioned it before, resolve is your hit points. It's something that you can spend on these things to reroll or get a costly success. You're also, spending your hit points. But really, this game treats hit points as the original concept of hit points was. Hit points were basically a combination of your skill, toughness, and luck. Basically, it's a pacing mechanism. Black Star is a player-facing game. Only the players are rolling the dice. And so instead of adding bonuses and penalties, what you do here is you add bonus dice or penalty dice. They cancel each other out. You'll always be rolling at least 2 dice, probably be rolling 3 or more dice. And the difference for that is that if you're rolling a bonus, you'll be taking the 2 highest. If it's going to be a penalty result, you'll be taking the 2 lowest. That's it. And the NPCs have tags, and so the tags are basically they have bonuses or penalties. You got little player-by-player rules here. Combat is the basic resolution system. And then it gives some examples for costly success. Pretty straightforward stuff. You can do a thing and you can move. Initiative goes back and forth. Like a hero goes first, then a GM NPC, then a hero fights, but like that, so on and so forth. Movement is pretty abstract. You roll your speed and add 3 to the highest die roll. That's how many spaces you move. There are rules here for chases. I haven't used those yet. Attacks are, they're resolved by the base mechanic. Roll 2 dice, add an ability, looking for a 9. For minions, you defeat 1 minion plus 1 additional for each 5 or 6 on the action dice that you roll. For foes, a successful attack always defeats one foe. And then for villains, a successful attack deals 1 damage plus 1 for each 5 or 6 that you roll. And that's it. You have some rules for grappling and talking about range. And then it talks about using resolve. I mentioned how you can use resolve. The recovering resolve is kind of loosey-goosey, but it's basically up to the GM for heroics and role-playing stuff. And then we have these short rules for vehicles. And the vehicles rules, they make a lot of sense. They have different attributes, and like you apply certain bonus or penalty dice depending on comparing the skills, to your hero or the enemy or what have you. You got different attributes. Combat for vehicles work a lot like combat for characters, except there's different scales: the personal, vehicle, and capital ship scale. Combatants can engage with opponents more than one size apart. It makes a whole bunch of sense, right? Then there's a whole list of shit. This is one thing. So one thing I love about this game is that there's a lot of texture in this game for the fact that it's such a light game. Very simple game to understand, but there's so much texture to it, and I absolutely love it. And then it gives it, just talks about the galaxy, aliens, bots, cyborgs, all that kind of stuff. And then Resonance, which is the force which the serial numbers filed off. I can't go into everything. They got some adventure summaries of plots that you can use. And then we got the list of talents, and I think the list of talents is the rest of the book here.
Yeah, all right, the mystic powers. Right, that makes sense. Yeah, the mystic powers.
And the more talents, all right, and then you have the character sheet, and there's some example characters. That's the PDF. I just went through the flip through. I love this game. I've run it a little bit. I've read it a couple of times. I hope you folks check it out. I will probably cover the Black Star campaign, which is also another little book about 50 pages and has a lot more in it. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see you later.